English 1, Quarter 3, Week 4. Lessons. Note important details pertaining to character, setting, and events. Sequence of 3 events. Infer the character, feelings, and traits. Expectations. Note important details pertaining to character, setting, and events. Give the sequence of 3 events. Infer the character, feelings, and traits. Pretest. Directions. Read each item carefully. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Write it on the line before the number. Number 1. What are the small pieces of information that author writes in their stories? A. Events. B. Details. C. Characters. The correct answer is letter B. Details. Number 2. It refers to the people or animals who are featured in the story. A. Characters. B. Setting. C. Plot. The correct answer is A. Characters. Number 3. It includes the time and place in which the story takes place. A. Plot. B. Setting. C. Characters. The correct answer is letter B. Setting. Number 4. These are the things that happened in the story. A. Events. B. Solutions. C. Problems. The correct answer is letter A. Events. And number 5. Why is it important to know the details of the story? A. To respect the author. B. To make the teacher happy. C. To understand the story better. The correct answer is letter C. To understand the story better. Looking back. Directions. Draw a happy face in the blank if the action shows a happy family and a sad face if not. Number 1. Laughing together. What is your answer? Yes, it's a happy face. Number 2. Fighting together. It's a sad face. Number 3. Being honest with each other. It is a happy face. And number 4. Listening to each other with full attention. It is a happy face also. And the last one, number 5, working together to solve conflicts among family members. It is a happy face also. Introduction. Authors write small pieces of information in their stories or pictures to help readers understand the characters and events. Some details include the character, setting, and events. It is important to identify and note down the details like this to help us understand the story better. Let us try to read the short story here. Jane went to her grandparents' province for her vacation. It was Saturday morning when her older cousins invited her to join in their hiking. It was her first time hiking. She was excited and nervous at the same time. On their way, they talked about funny stories. She enjoyed her time with her cousins. Now, let's start with the character. Who are the characters of the story? It is Jane and the older cousins. And then the setting is Saturday morning, her grandparents' province. And then the events are Her older cousins invited Jane to join in their hiking, and on their way, they talk about funny stories. What Jane's feeling being described in the story? It is excited. She is excited and nervous. Arrange the following events. Let's number this from 1 to 3. Okay, I'm going to read the sentences, and then later we will going to arrange the following events. On their way, they talk about funny stories. Her older cousins invited Jane to join their hiking. Jane went to her grandparents' province for her vacation. Okay? Class, what is the first one happened in the story? It is Jane went to her grandparents' province for her vacation. And then the next one is her older cousins invited Jane to join their hiking. And the third one happened is on their way, they talk about funny stories. Letter B, arrange the following events. Let us number this from 1 to 5. Okay, the first one is Mary was scared. Next, Mary went to the garden. The third one is suddenly she saw a spider and she was collecting flowers. And in the last box is she ran away. So what do you think is the first one happened in the story? That is, Mary went to the garden. And the next one is, she was collecting flowers. The third one, suddenly she saw a spider. While collecting flowers, she saw a spider. And when she saw a spider, Mary was scared. And when Mary was scared, she ran away. So that's the story about Mary and the spider. Infer the character feelings or traits. Joy studies her lesson every day. She is. What do you think Joy's attitude regarding her studies? She is responsible, industrious, or smart. The next one, John went camping for the first time. There was a very loud sounds in the woods. How was John feeling? He is scared. Activities. Directions. Read the story below to answer the given activities. So this is the story. Let us read the story. Last Saturday, Anna and Lisa walked to their friend's house. On their way, Anna picked some wildflowers on the roadside. Lisa chose the prettiest and the biggest wildflowers to make 3 flowers crowns. Finally, Anna and Lisa arrived at their friend's house. Their friend greeted them with a big hug after giving one of the flower crowns. Okay, here are the activities from the story. The first activity, fill out the detail chart below. On the left side, we will see the questions, and on the other side, we will going to write our answer. Number 1, who are the characters in the story? The characters in the story are Anna and Lisa. Number 2, where did they go? They went to their friend's house. Number 3 question, when did they go to their friend's house? They went last Saturday. What did they pick on the roadside? They picked wildflowers on the roadside. And number 5, how did their friend greet them? Their friend greeted them with a big hug. Next activity, give the correct sequence of 3 events. Write numbers 1 to 3 to arrange the events in order. Okay, Anna picked some wildflowers on the roadside. The next sentence is, Anna and Lisa walked to their friend's house, and their friend greeted them with a big hug. Class, what do you think is the first happen in the story? That is, Anna and Lisa walked to their friend's house. And the second one is, Anna picked some wildflowers on the roadside. And the last sentence, their friend greeted them with a big hug. Letter B for activity 2. Arrange the events in proper order. Write numbers 1 to 3 inside the box. Let's see what's the first one happened in the story. Jose planted seed in the backyard. Finally, the seed grows into plant. Then he waters them every morning. What do you think is the first sentence happened in the story? That is, Jose planted seed in the backyard. The next one is, then he waters them every morning. And the last one is, finally, the seed grows into a plant. Activity 3. Infer the feelings being described in the sentence and circle the letter of the correct answer. You choose it from the choices on your modules. Number 1. Anna smelled the most beautiful flower she has seen. A. Angry. B. Happy. C. Sad. The correct answer is B. Happy. Number 2. Lisa hurt her finger when she touched the thorns. A. Excited. B. Glad. C. Lonely. The correct answer is lonely. Number 3. Their friend loved the flower crown they gave. A. Afraid. B. Joyful. C. Worried. The correct answer is B. Joyful. Number 4. Jose waters the plant every day. What kind of boy is he? A. Lazy. B. Responsible. C. Shy. The correct answer is letter B. Responsible. And the last number, he wants to protect the plants from bad animals. What character traits is this? A. Caring. B. Forgiving. C. Generous. The correct answer is letter A. Caring. Remember, we note down important details of the story like the characters, the setting, and events to understand the story better. When we note down important details, we can sequence the story properly and know the traits and feelings of the characters in the story. Checking your understanding. Directions. Identify the following details whether it is a character, setting, or event. Write the answer on the line. Number 1. Bernard. Is it a character, a setting, or event? That is a character. Number 2. The school. Is it a character, an event, or setting? It is setting. The third one is Bernard saw his classmates. What's the correct answer? Okay, that is event. Number 4, Lisa. Lisa is a character in the story. And number 5, Bernard and Lisa go to school together. That is an example of event. Very good. Now, let's move on to the post-test. Read each item carefully. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Write it on the line before the number. Okay, let's read first the short story before we go to the questions from the post-test. Just follow while I'm reading the short story. Jean and Jimin went to the park. They wanted to play basketball with their friend Kim. They were happily telling stories while waiting for Kim when they heard a dog bark loudly. The dog ran towards them. Luckily, one of the guards in the park caught the dog before it reached them. Finally, Kim arrived and they played basketball as planned. This story was written by Rael O. de la Cruz. Okay, let's move on to the questions. Number 1, what do you call Jean, Jimin, and Kim? A. Setting. B. Character. C. Event. The correct answer is letter B. They are the characters. Number 2, where did they go? A. Pool. B. Park. C. School. The correct answer is letter B again. They were in the park. Number 3, what happened while they waited for Kim? A. It suddenly rained so hard. B. They saw a guard on the park. And letter C. They heard a dog barked loudly. The correct answer is letter C. They heard a dog barked loudly. Number 4, it tells the time and place of the story. A. Setting. B. Character. C. Event. The correct answer is letter A. Setting. And number 5, they tell the things that happen in the story. A. Setting. B. Character. C. Event. The correct answer is letter C. Event. Thank you for listening, class. Hope you learned something from our lesson in English 1. See you next week for the next topic that we are going to discuss. God bless and stay safe.